Welcome to the Rocky Mountain Association of College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. If you have any questions for the reps at all during this evening, please use the Q&A button that's on your screen to talk with them at any point. Since your camera and microphone is off, that's going to be the best way to communicate with them. There will be more sessions coming up next week for the Rocky Mountain area, so make sure you look for those as well. Other than that, let's get things started up. And first, we're going to have Seattle University.
Just getting my presentation going. Got my stopwatch right here. Give me 1 second. Can you all see my screen? Perfect. Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Nicole. I use she, her pronouns, and I am an admissions counselor for first-time in college students at Seattle University. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and I will get to them before our session's over. So just to get us started here, I'm going to share some basic facts about who we are and what might shape your experience at Seattle U. The red border is our entire campus that's nestled between 3 neighborhoods. We have Capitol Hill, First Hill, and Central District. You'll see some helpful numbers here. All of our classes are 100% taught by SU faculty. You'll find your average class size at Seattle U is about 18 students with an overall ratio of 11 students to 1 professor campus-wide. SU is considered a mid-sized university. We have around 7,200 students overall, 4,700 of those students being undergrads, while the rest are a blend of grad and law students. Now to talk about some academics. So Seattle University offers the distinct advantage of considering freshman applicants for direct admission to specific majors. Accordingly, there are specific additional requirements for admission to certain majors, which I'll go over later. Our core curriculum is a thoughtfully designed integrated curriculum created to help all SU students grow as scholars, citizens, and as reflective and engaged whole persons. We also have resources on campus for pre-professional advising. These subject areas include pre-law, pre-health, pre-education, really anything that's continuing your education after completing your bachelor's degree. We have an amazing office that assists you with that pre-professional advising. As the only undeclared major program of its kind, apologies if you can hear the siren, as the only undeclared major program of its kind in the Northwest, through our pre-major studies program, I apologize. Oh my goodness. You'll find the support you need to embark upon your educational path. We don't like to call our students undecided because there are plenty of subjects you're all passionate about. So our pre-major advisors are there to help you and support you as you enter college and help you declare a major by the end of your sophomore year that still has you on track to graduate in 4 years. Now to talk about our student life. We have over 150 student clubs and organizations that range in focus from community service, cultural heritage, honor societies, professional development, and outdoor recreation. To name a few, some of our student clubs include our KXSU radio station, our Outdoor Adventure and Recreation Club, and Red Zone, which is a club that fires up our D1 NCAA athletic teams. So if you're looking for that school spirit and want to show support to your fellow student athletes, this would definitely be the club to be in. I do want to chat just a little bit about the admissions process, and I want to highlight as we talk about this process that Seattle University uses a holistic approach to application review. In short, that means when I'm reading your application, I am not laser focused on your GPA and grade trend. I really take everything in your file into consideration. So working around the circle here, we're going to start with academic rigor. And so essentially, rigor shows us what kind of courses you're choosing to put yourself in. Are you taking those more difficult classes like the APs and honors? For grade trend, we want to see your consistency during school. Did you have a dip in your grade sophomore year due to an unforeseen event? We encourage you to reach out and tell us those things because we can also take that into consideration when reviewing your file. Our middle GPA is about a 3.4 to 3.9. At SU, we are test optional, so there is no advantage or disadvantage in submitting your SAT or ACT scores. Next on the circle, we have major prerequisites. These are just elements that make a student's application look a bit more competitive. These prereqs will be critical for students that are interested in programs that are math and science heavy. The prereqs do vary from major to major, but some classes that may be required are classes such as pre-calculus, chemistry, biology. It really all just depends on what you're looking into. For the last 3 sections on our circle, we have leadership and activities, essays, and letters of recommendation. These are all sections within the Common App. Leadership and Activities is a place to tell us everything you're involved in outside of the classroom. For the essay, I like to remind my students that we're already getting all of the things you're involved in the previous section. So be sure to use the essay to be creative, tell us something more about you. It's one of the only places we hear your direct voice, and that's really what we're looking for. For the last section, the letters of recommendation, we ask for a letter from a teacher and also a counselor. And also on this slide, you'll see some important deadlines to take note of for our applicants as well. Moving on to our final stretch, last slide here. For our annual cost of tuition, we are looking at something around $65,000. I want to stress that each total estimated cost does vary per student. I recognize Seattle U's sticker price can be extremely intimidating. And with that being said, I want to note that 91.5% of students on campus are receiving significant aid. So when we look at financial aid, we're kind of looking at two different pillars. First, you have your merit scholarships. This is money you receive directly from SU based on what we see on your common application. And then the second pillar is money you received based on filing the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. And there is money just waiting for you. All you have to do is apply, and it's going to help your education so much. So when you put those two pillars together, that kind of becomes your financial aid package. You can choose to add on outside scholarships to be added to this package as well. If you have chosen to apply early action, which means you're applying by November 15th, you have the opportunity to apply for our Sullivan Leadership Award. Each year, Seattle U selects 9 incoming freshmen to receive this award that covers their undergraduate tuition for all 4 years of study. And it's essentially a development program designed to cultivate ethical leadership. And that just about wraps up my portion of this 6x6 DriveScan session. I appreciate y'all for hanging tight with me. I will be here until this lovely session is over, so please feel free to pop any questions in the chat, and I look forward to connecting with y'all in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Next, we're going to leave the Pacific Northwest and head to the Great Plains and Creighton University, Nebraska.
Thank you so much. Yes, hi everybody. My name is Leslie Becker and I am with Creighton University, which is located in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions for Creighton, and I've worked on and off for Creighton for about 13 years. And I work from a remote office for the last 8 or so years in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm definitely a part of the Rocky Mountain area, and happy to introduce you to a great university in the Midwest. So Creighton is a Jesuit university, and so we've got a lot of Jesuit universities on our grouping today. So the Jesuits is the largest order of Catholic priests, but you certainly do not have to be Catholic to attend any one of the Jesuit universities that are here, or any of the 27 Jesuit universities that are in the country. As a Jesuit university, Creighton is forming leaders for a more just world by teaching behaviors that reflect critical thought and responsible action on moral and ethical decisions. We are all about social justice and what it means to leave the world a better place than when you entered it. So some of the values of a Jesuit education, and maybe this is going to be helpful for everyone else that comes after me as well, that is Jesuit. Magis is something you're going to hear at a lot of Jesuit universities. These are Latin terms, and they mean more. We challenge our students to do more and to be more and to strive for excellence. Another thing we talk about a lot at Jesuit schools is to become men and women for and with others. This is sharing gifts, pursuing justice. Another thing that we talk about a lot is becoming care for the individualized person, which in Latin is cura personalis. So these are some of the charisms of being at a Jesuit university that are really important to us at Creighton University. So there we go. We have over 140 different academic programs, and we truly are a liberal arts school. All Jesuit universities are founded in the liberal arts, and that's really important to the way that we educate our students. So you'll have a well-rounded education. Everything will be taught by professors, not TAs. We have about 4,400 undergraduate students and about another 4,400 graduate students. Our student to faculty ratio is 11:1, and our average class size is 24. Now, 80% of our students come from out of state. So you're going to see and be able to interact and make friends with students who represented all 50 states and about 50 international countries. So our undergraduate programs, if those, are three major colleges: the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business, and the College of Nursing. And the nursing program is a direct entry program. We also have our own dental school, law school, medical school, occupational therapy, pharmacy, physical therapy. We do PA, which is physician's assistant, a nurse practitioner program, and a graduate school. So that's what makes up those other 4,400 students that are at Creighton. So this is a super big deal to be at a small university with only 4,000 undergraduate students, but have all of these access to these graduate and professional level programs. So the acceptance rate, for example, for going to our, from our undergraduate, so going to Creighton as an undergraduate and then going and applying to Creighton Medical School, our acceptance rate is about 50%. And if students are applying from outside of Creighton undergrad, the acceptance rate goes down to about 6%. So if you want to go to Creighton Medical School, going to Creighton as an undergraduate is a really good way to get yourself in. So 76% of all of our pre-med students are admitted to MD programs in the US in the last year. And our acceptance rate for dental school is even higher, about 65 to 80% in a given year. So, there's a big advantage of being a Creighton undergraduate if you want to go to one of Creighton's professional programs. Nursing students are the only students that have to basically declare a major when they apply. You're applying direct entry to the nursing program. Our arts and sciences students declare their majors, arts and sciences and business declare their majors at the end of their sophomore year. So we have developed a really great interprofessional approach to education, and we offer a team approach to our healthcare education, and we want our students to experience learning as a part of a healthcare team. So you can study a lot of things as an undergraduate at Creighton, but a lot of our graduate stuff is focused in the healthcare fields. So let's see, Omaha was voted the #1 city in the country for paid internships. And so this is just a little bit about what you can expect from the city of Omaha. There are more internships than there are students to fill them in the city of Omaha, which is a pretty amazing problem to have. Omaha is the home to 4 Fortune 500 companies, and we have another 50 to 60 with operations in the city of Omaha as well. So it's the #1 city in the country for new college graduates because it's a fun place to live. There's many job opportunities, and the cost of living is affordable. You can really, truly afford a really cool apartment, like in the middle of this, really lively district as a new graduate. So that's a big deal. Then we have over 150 clubs and organizations. That includes things like fraternity and sorority life. We're one of only a handful of small Catholic Jesuit schools that have sorority life. But then there's intercultural organizations, clubs and intramural sports, lots of things to get involved in, and fine and performing arts as well. Students are actively engaged in service, and that is an important part of again, what it means to be at a Jesuit university. And so that foreign men and women, foreign with others, is important. This other slide here is also a picture of an interfaith prayer service, which we just held this year. Creighton is in person this year and will be in person, we've announced, for next fall as well. And so we're holding things like interfaith prayer services in person, just with masks. So I think that's another important thing to mention today too. So this is really about our Division I athletic programs. This is a picture of our basketball program. We have over 18,000 fans at every home men's basketball game. We also are the host for the College World Series every year, the city of Omaha is, and we have club sports and intramural sports, as I mentioned. Students get into all of our home games for free, and we're a Division I program, and we're in the Big East Conference, so it's a lot of fun. It's really a cool combination of being at a small school with the big school atmosphere. So there are lots of study abroad opportunities, including a global scholars program at Creighton, where students spend 2 semesters away and 2 summers away, resulting in 4 study abroad experiences in a 4-year degree program. Pretty awesome. So the next thing I want to talk about is our student outcomes. So we are very proud of our student outcomes. As you can see, we placed overall 99% of our students into jobs, into graduate programs, or into service programs, and within 6 months of graduation. I keep clicking on the wrong thing, sorry. All right, so this is just some general application materials. We are a free application. We are on the Common App, or we have our own online application just called the Creighton app. We are test optional, and we went test optional last year, pre-pandemic test optional. So we kind of feel like we know what we're doing when it comes to test optional. And when it comes to test optional for us, submitting a test score will do no harm. So if you submit a test score and it's maybe not super reflective of your GPA, we're still going to evaluate your scores or evaluate your scholarship based upon your GPA. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions. This is a quick overview of our timeline. We're early action November 1 and regular decision on December 1. And that's my information there. And I work with all students in Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. That was great information that you shared. We're going to leave the state of Nebraska and head towards the Gateway Arch now and to Rayanne and St. Louis University.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. My name is Rayanne Mena, and I am similar to Leslie. I am the Colorado-based regional representative for St. Louis University, and I work with many of the students from the Rocky Mountain State. So great to be with you here tonight. So some fun facts about St. Louis University is kind of up on the screen for you here. We're a nice medium-sized school with about 8,000 undergraduate students. When you add in the graduate students, we have close to 4,000 of those in a School of Medicine, School of Law, lots of graduate programs. So we're about 12,000 students total. Fun fact about SLU, as we call ourselves, that you may not know, is we actually have two campuses. We have our main campus in St. Louis, Missouri, but we also have a four-year campus in Madrid, Spain. There are some students from across the world that go directly to SLU Madrid, as we call it, never stepping foot on our St. Louis campus. But we also have a really cool program called Two Campuses, One Degree, where you can start in Madrid and maybe take a lot of your prerequisite and core courses and then come back to main campus for your last 2 years, focusing on some of your business and engineering and all those types of courses. We are one of the oldest universities, second oldest Jesuit Catholic university in the US, and we were actually the first university west of the Mississippi, also the first medical school west of the Mississippi River, and all of that. So we have been around for a long time, and as I mentioned, we are one of the 27 Jesuit Catholic universities, and a lot of us are in this presentation tonight, so you will be hearing a lot about us. What does it mean to be a Jesuit, to be a Jesuit college or university? Well, Leslie luckily covered most of that for me, so thanks, Leslie. But the Jesuits really are, just to kind of emphasize again, really about the education of the whole person. We're not just going to sit you in the classroom and lecture to you and say, this is how you become, an accountant, or this is how you become a doctor. We really want you taking well-rounded coursework, and even though you're a biology major, you're going to take a philosophy course with business majors, and getting you out there and your critical thinking skills, leadership skills, all of the great things Leslie mentioned. One of the big things you'll find at a lot of Jesuit colleges is that, giving back and that sense of social justice and community service. And last year at St. Louis University, we did close to 2 million hours of community service. And this is all without requiring any community service of our students. So I think you'll find at a lot of Jesuit colleges, our students are really kind of tuned in to how they can use their strengths, their skills as a leader to make the world a better place, as Leslie kind of hinted at. So again, to kind of move forward from being a Jesuit school and talk about some of our academic offerings. One of my favorite things about St. Louis University is that we have close to 90 different majors, and we have a lot of those hard to find majors. So we've got majors in anthropology and meteorology and sports business, aerospace engineering. And so chances are, whatever you're looking for in a major, we have it. Like Leslie mentioned about Creighton, we have a lot of direct entry majors at St. Louis University. Everything is direct entry, including things like nursing. And we also have a lot of accelerated programs. So you can come to St. Louis University, and if you want to be a physical therapist, when you apply to our physical therapy program, you are in all the way through the doctorate in that program, and you graduate in 6 years instead of 7. We do a 5-year master's for occupational therapy and athletic training. And so we are a place that if someone knows what they want to be when they grow up, we can often help you get there and on your way a little bit quicker. So definitely take a look at all that we have to offer academically. We also have a lot in business. St. Louis is a big business city with over 9 Fortune 500 companies located in the city. And so there's great internships. We also have a lot in engineering. I mentioned aerospace, but we also have a biomedical engineering, and some of those are harder to find majors. So think of us for health sciences, think of us for business and engineering, and then the traditional arts and sciences as well. So it's one of my favorite things about St. Louis University as well is that there's something for everyone in terms of what you want to be involved in. If you're looking for a Division I school with a lot of school spirit, that is us. And we have all of our Division I teams play right on campus. But if you're like, well, I don't think that I'm going to play at the Division I level, but I would like to still play, we've got a ton of club teams, as you can see. And our club teams still travel and still compete. It's just more dependent on your academic scholarship than your athletic scholarships. But if you're like, I'm done with my competitive sports days, but it would be really fun to play in a flag football tournament or volleyball against, other people that live in my residence hall, we have a really strong intramural sports teams as well. But a ton of students organizations, over 200 organizations, everything that you can think of, from getting involved in our outdoor rec clubs to particular clubs and organizations for studying the classics or for particular cultural things that students are interested in. We do have fraternities and sororities on our campus. And so that's, again, one of the things that students like about SLU is you can choose it if you want great school spirit. You can choose it if you want medical research opportunities, because we are considered a high research activity university. You can choose it if you're looking for fraternity and sorority experiences or strong community service. And so we're not just a school where students only participate in one activity or one thing. As we kind of wrap up our time together, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the application process. Very simple to apply. We are on the common application, or we have our own online application, no preference in which you fill out, and both of them are free. We too are test optional this past year and will be for at least the next 2 years. So once we get that official transcript from your high school, in most cases, we are ready to read your application. Some of our programs will require a letter of recommendation and things like that as well. So I will go ahead and put my contact information in the chat. I will be the primary contact for most of you attending this. So I thank you for your time and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Rayanne. Now we're going to head on down to Mississippi to Loyola University, New Orleans, and Ricardo.
Thank you, John. Again, my name is Ricardo Alarcon. I'm with Loyola University, New Orleans. And as I'm setting up my screen here, I am an assistant director for admissions. Also, another fancy way of saying a regional representative. I live in the city of Dallas, Texas, but I cover all Western states. That's include a lot of the Rocky Mountain states, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Arizona. So I do travel to those before COVID, I would travel to those areas. But again, our city is located in the city of our campus located in the city of New Orleans. And again, just like my colleagues, we are also a Jesuit university, founded in 1912. Roughly, we're about under 3,200 students. We offer around 110 different academic programs. And just like my other colleagues, we have a lot of things or student organizations for our students to get involved in. So, it's kind of like you have that small atmosphere, but you'll connect with your professors, you'll connect with mentors and people that want to see you succeed. But again, you have all these opportunities of a large research institution. So this is just kind of a snapshot of the class of 2020 that started last fall. And so just kind of give you an idea, we do have quite a few students that come from out of state, Texas, California, Florida, the Northeast. Those seem to be our top regions that we gain students from. Again, we are very the first generation college students, so we are very friendly for students that are coming into college for first time, and again, having support services for them. And then this last stat just kind of gives you the breakdown of the student population, especially our students of color. I think they really enjoy the city of New Orleans. It offers a lot of different things for them. And then our campus kind of works hand in hand with the city. So the great connection there between the town and gown relationships with the city. We are located in the uptown area, which if you're familiar with New Orleans, everyone knows about the French Quarter, Bourbon Street right up here, the Superdome here. You take St. Charles, you go a little bit west and you run into Loyola. You might know our next door neighbor, Tulane University, another private institution. And actually we just, we share a lot of the green space that's around the city. And speaking of green space, across the street is Audubon Park. That is where students can go for, take a walk in the park. If you're a biker, you like to rollerblade, definitely a lot of green space to just walk around before or after class. And one thing I didn't know about New Orleans, there's so many TV shows and movies that are made and produced in the city. So very quickly, as my time is expiring here, I do want to talk about our academics. We have three basic colleges: the College of Arts and Science, the College of Business, and of course, our College of Music and Media. Most students will fall into the music and media. About a third of our students will fall into this. We offer the traditional music, vocal music, music performance. We also have some programs that are hard to find, such as one of the oldest music therapy programs in this part of the US. We had this music industry studies where not only you learn your talent, your craft, but you also learn the business side, how to get paid for your music, how to work contracts and so forth. And then also we have our theater program, filmmaking, and one of the oldest journalism programs also falls in music and media. Number two is our College of Business. We are a port city, so trade, commerce, very vital to the city. And so our students really enjoy that connection with the city as well. And number three is probably our sciences. We offer the pre-health, pre-med programs. And then we are just starting for this fall 2021, our School of Nursing, a direct entry. And so for those students that want to go into that, we'll help you with that. Psychology, number four, criminal justice or criminology, number five. Again, those are some of our top programs. But again, just like my colleagues mentioned, as a Jesuit institution, our philosophy is to, have students double major, add minors, because again, we want you to gain the vast amount of knowledge that you can, so when you're ready for the real world, you could tackle real problems. So again, these are some of our other programs that we have. And as you look through these, again, we definitely encourage students to kind of take different programs across different departments here. We do offer study abroad for those students that kind of want to leave the country and kind of get that experience. And not only it could be a part of your class, service learning, or it could actually be something where like a ministry trips that we offer for students as well. Again, we offer honors program for those high achievers. Again, working with a smaller class setting. And again, opportunities to do research, opportunities to collaborate with professors on different projects. Now, lastly, I do want to talk about our admission criteria. We are test blind, meaning that test scores are not required for admissions and scholarships. So basically what we're going to look at is these items here from our application. We'll look at the extracurricular activities, the transcript, the grades, the rigor, letters recommendation, and the essay to make our decision. And then of course, these are our important dates that we have for the students that are looking for deadlines for next year. Students that want to major in music and media will have to have a supplemental item added, the portfolio, interview, audition, and just depending on what program you're going to go into, that's what we're going to require. And I can help you out definitely with that. And we do offer some great scholarship for our music and media students, as well as some of our other merit scholarships, leadership scholarships. We are NAIA, so Division I, so we do offer that. And then just with closing, I hope you enjoyed all that information. But there's my contact, and I'll be happy to chat with you. If you have questions, just put it in that chat box. Thanks.
Ricardo, thank you for sharing some great information about Loyola University. Now we're going to Eli and Gonzaga University.
Alrighty. Thank you, John. My name's Eli Jenkins. I'm an admission counselor at Gonzaga University. Like quite a few of my colleagues, we are a Jesuit university. We are located in Spokane, Washington, which is on the eastern border with Idaho. Spokane is the second biggest city in the state of Washington. We are actually about only a 10 to 15 minute walk to downtown Spokane. So for those of you who are looking to get off campus, that's going to be a really easy opportunity. For those of you who are skiers, I know that's a pretty big thing for our Rocky Mountain students. We have 5 ski resorts within 90 miles of Gonzaga. So that's going to be a very easy way for you to get out off campus as well. A lot of my coworkers are foodies, as they say, and they love the Spokane restaurant scene. So a little bit about Gonzaga, just very quickly. We are top 5% in the nation for undergraduate teaching. So that means our professors are here to teach. They're not here just to do research with the graduate students. So that's something that we're really proud of, and our professors are very accessible. Our retention rate, meaning if you come to Gonzaga for your first year, you're going to come back for your second year. That's at 92%. So that's a number we're really proud of, because once people become Zags, they typically stay Zags. 4 out of 5 or 80% of our students are going to graduate in 4 years. So we totally understand that, you want to spend some time at college, but you don't want to spend the rest of your life. So that 80% is something we're pretty proud of. 94% of our students were either employed in a competitive service program, in the military, or in grad school for our 2019 graduates. And like other medium-sized universities, we have a little bit over 5,000 undergraduate students. I don't have the number in front of me, but it's around 1,000 to 1,500 graduate students. So pretty undergraduate dominant there. In being a Catholic Jesuit school, I think it's very important to note, you don't have to be Catholic to come to Gonzaga. We have 24 different faiths represented on campus. And the way we look at it is we want you to either grow in your own faith or spirituality, whatever that may be. We want you to be the best you possible, whatever that looks like. And with an average class size of only 22 in every class, again, you are going to have a lot of access to your professors with that 11:1 student to faculty ratio. And I don't have a graphic for our basketball court, unfortunately, but I used to say we were the #1 basketball team in the world. Fortunately, like many of you know, we did have a bit of a tough loss in the national title game. But our men's basketball team, 2 national title games in 4 years. I keep saying it. We'll be back, and eventually we're gonna win one of those. So academics. We offer a variety of different majors in our different schools. Our College of Arts and Sciences being the biggest. That's everything from the natural sciences to the social sciences to the humanities. So you have everything from art, English, biology, psychology, sociology. Houses a lot of our majors there. Our School of Business Administration, we have a top 30 program in the country for our Masters of Accounting that a lot of our undergraduate students go into, and we're a top 100 program for business administration. Our School of Education does offer reciprocity. So if you do get your teaching certificate from Gonzaga, you are able to teach in all 50 states. That also houses our kinesiology and sports management departments. So if you're looking to go into sports, athletic training, that's also going to be an option. Our School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, pretty straightforward. So that's all of our engineering programs and computer science. It is worth noting that along with the School of Nursing or the nursing major, engineering and nursing, those are our direct entry programs, meaning you're going to apply for those directly out of high school. Nursing and human physiology, the human physiology piece is not actually one that's a direct entry program, even though it is housed with nursing. A lot of our human physiology students end up going to medical school, physical therapy school, occupational therapy school, so on and so forth. So they do very well when applying to graduate schools. This is our student union building, the Hemmingson Center. So this is where I think the rubber meets the road. This is where a lot of our resources happen for our students. That's everything from our multicultural center to our LGBTQ+ center. Whoever you are and however you identify, you're going to be welcome at Gonzaga. I think that goes along really well. Cure personalis, like you had said, educating the whole person. I think that goes really well with the health and counseling. We know that we're here to teach you in the academic sense, but we also want you to grow as a person as well on the mental side. Mission and ministry, for those of you who maybe want to expand your faith or discover a new one, there's a lot of resources for that. We have over 130 clubs and organizations on campus, so there's so many ways to be involved outside of the classroom with 800 student leadership positions, and that's on campus alone. That's not counting any opportunities you might find off campus. 60% of our students are going to participate in intramural sports, which is so much fun. Even if you've never played before, it's a great way to meet people. And 83% of our students come from 200 miles away. So not a lot of students going home on the weekends. So you're able to continue making that activity. How to be a ZAG through admission. We have one deadline, that's December 1st for the common application. We don't have a test score requirement or unweighted GPA requirement. That's our middle 50%. Like a few of my colleagues, we are also test optional. But if you do fall below a 3.2 GPA, we would recommend having an admission interview. That's not going to be like Andy interviewing Dwight in the office to get into Cornell. It's going to be much more of a conversation. And we do understand that financial aid is a very important piece to paying for school. That's just very important. So we do recommend that you fill out your FAFSA by December 1st. We have application-based scholarships that are due January 1st, and 99% of our students are going to receive some sort of financial aid or merit scholarships. I'll throw my information in the chat, but we would love for you to be a ZAG.
Thank you so much, Eli. Next, we're going to have the University of the Pacific.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. So last but not least, my name is Stephanie Azarkan, and I am the Pacific Northwest One second here. Let's do it this way. I am the Pacific Northwest Admissions Counselor for University of the Pacific, but I also cover Arizona and Nevada. So I'll make sure you have my contact information before we leave. University of the Pacific is, we're last on the list tonight, and we were founded as the oldest chartered institution in California as a Methodist university. We had a Methodist background. We no longer have a religious requirement or affiliation, but we do have a beautiful chapel on campus. So University of the Pacific is a little different and unique in that we have 3 campuses, right? So the vast majority of our students, around 3,600 undergraduate students, are going to be in Stockton at our 175-acre campus. But then we also have 2 other campuses with great programs that are well known. Our McGeorge School of Law. We also have a physician assistant studies program and some other health studies programs coming at the Sacramento campus. And then our very well known Dagoni School of Dentistry is located in San Francisco. So it is a strong possibility that you would spend a few years in Stockton and then have the opportunity to actually go to one of our other 2 campuses there. So share the map. We are in Northern California. Airport options are going to be Sacramento, Oakland if you are wild and want to go through some traffic, but we do have some opportunities for our out-of-state students to get there. Also, kind of a reminder that fall 2021, we have announced that we will be in person, and we hope that will come true also fall 2022. And a neat fact about Stockton itself, it was actually ranked by the U.S. News and World Report as the most diverse city in the country. So we're very proud of that. If you are a foodie, we have those opportunities. If you love to get involved in the community, we have a lot of those different opportunities there at the Stockton campus. At University of the Pacific, we have 10 different colleges and we have over 80 different majors. So pretty huge number for such a small undergraduate school there. Kind of the neat things to focus on: music. We were the first school with a music conservatory in California, jazz studies, music composition, as well as the music industry studies with non-addition. Those students actually have a recording label that they run. So kind of get the business experience as well as the music hands-on. Our students in business administration and the Eberhard School of Business, College of Business, they actually have a stock fund that they trade. So they have real world experience. You'll hear me talk a lot about experiential ed and hands-on, and that's truly what differentiates us from the large, gigantic, classes at other places. We have small. So 23 is our average class size. 14:1 is our student to faculty ratio. And one thing I want to point out on is down in the bottom corner, exploratory, undecided. About 25% of our incoming class will pick one of those majors. They know they want engineering, but they just don't know what track they want to go into. They know they want business, but do they want business and finance, analytics, or human resource and marketing, or maybe sport management? That exploratory option is great for a student that knows they want to come to California, knows that they want our campus and that hands-on approach with their faculty. So I share that because I think that's something that is a little unique that we have for sure. We definitely have you apply to one major, but there is some wiggle room there if you'd like to switch. All of our students in the sciences, computer engineering, as well as anybody in that engineering program, they will do a co-op. So once again, hands-on in our career outcomes focus. That's what we want our students to get experience, to get real world options, to do their internships nearby, but to also have an opportunity to go out into the real world, whether it's in, our music therapy program, working with the local school, working with the county. Our pre-farm students were just able to do multiple vaccination clinics on our campus for not just employees and staff, but also this people in our county. So we're very proud of that there. So hands-on, getting you experience so that you can go out into the world and start to be an adult, right? That's the whole outcome there. So 2019 graduates, we had over 90% of our students employed or in graduate school. 1 in 4 have been accepted into grad or professional school. Lots of logos you recognize down there as well. Since you are coming from out of town, one of the things I like to focus on is the residential life side, right? We do have first year and second year students live on campus. Neat fact is that 55% of our students will live on campus for all 4 years. I'm a Seattle girl. I went to college in Rhode Island and I chose to live on campus all 4 years. So I think that's an important fact to note. If you are coming from far away and your parents are worried about it, don't worry, we have housing. We have international housing for honor students. We have Greek housing as well. Our president even has a house on campus. So he gets to live by the freshmen in Grace Covell Hall there. So what you see there is one of our second year options for students, and it has a pool as well. So definitely something to think about when you're looking at going far away from home for sure. University of the Pacific is a D1 school. We compete with Gonzaga over there in the West Coast Conference. We don't just have D1 sports, we have intramural and club sports as well as a huge, robust clubs and organization life, whether it's the anime club, the badminton club, the gaming club, religious clubs, political clubs, or volunteering. We have those opportunities for students. So I share that because I think it's something to consider about getting involved in what you're in high school, making sure you find that in their college experience that you're looking for sure. So we do have a very healthy student life. How to apply? University of Pacific has a hard deadline, early action November 15th for pre-dent and pre-farm. Those are our two very competitive programs. So we do also offer early action November 15th deadline, and then our regular application deadline is January 15th. Like our other colleagues on the webinar here, we are test optional, and we will keep that for as long as we, for right now, for the next year or two, we'll have that opportunity there. We are on the Common App. We do not have an application fee. We do have an individual university app that you can use as well, but there's definitely an opportunity to use the Common App for free when you're ready there. So you can explore us virtually from your home right now. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know everybody is at that Zoom fatigue and I get to go last. So a big go Tigers, and thanks everybody for joining me today. Have a good evening.
Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing information about University of Pacific. All right, in this evening, we want to kind of give you all some wonderful kind of like words of wisdom and maybe some seeds to grow on as well. And to do that, we have a question that we want to have all the reps answer, just kind of give everyone some advice. And the question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we can go and answer in order that we presented.
Something that I like to tell my students is, like, I compare it to when you buy new clothes. You know, you buy clothes not so that you fit in them, so your clothes fit you. That's not what it's about. You want to find a college that it's going to fit all of your needs. So you're not looking for something that's just going to tally off a couple things. You're going to look for if you can see yourself there and putting your all into like imagining yourself there, what you're going to experience, the clubs, everything. So that's what I like to tell my students.
All right, hi. My advice really, it's kind of an easy thing to say and a hard thing sometimes to do, but really you got to go and try on some of these. So if we're using the clothes analogy, or if I want to take that, you want to go and see these places as much as possible. Now, not every place is open currently, but those things are slowly starting to change, and campuses that are open and are available that are willing to have you come and visit. You should absolutely at some point during your experience of searching for colleges, go and take a look at these places. So my suggestion is, if you take a summer vacation this year, maybe a driving trip or something like that, find a college or 2 or 4 or 5 on your route and stop at them. Even if they're not super high on your list, by visiting more and more schools, you're going to get a sense for what sizes, what things are available on their campuses. What does a small town college experience look like? What does a large city experience look like? So go out and visit as many colleges as you can, even if they're not really high on your list that you think that you're going to visit. You're going to learn a lot by going and doing that and being out there.
Great. My piece of advice has to do, it's just pretty practical. If you haven't yet, consider setting up a college application specific email address, one that you can use through this entire process, from when you're filling out your application to just requesting information from colleges. You're going to get a ton of emails, as you know, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, but if they're all in one place, maybe, you know, a family member wants to help you go through them and delete and unsubscribe from the ones you're no longer interested in. But just having one place to centralize your process can really help a lot. One other piece of advice too, if you have a cell phone, please set up your voicemail on it. You know, we know you don't always use your phones to talk, but colleges still use it to call you and say, congratulations on your admissions, or to tell you that you're on the wait list and find out if you accept the spot. So having a voicemail that is set up, that you check regularly so it's not full, where we can leave you a message, is perfect. You don't have to answer the phone. We just need to leave you a message. Thanks.
What I usually tell families, and this is coming from, I guess, my business background. I was a business major and went MBA for graduate school, but it's always talk about the finances and looking at the cost of the colleges. Every university has what they call a net price calculator, or most of them do. And so it's a great way to kind of start the conversation of, looking at the cost of college, kind of seeing, a lot of these, you just put your family income and, kind of get an idea of how much the cost is. Also, they will have scholarship calculators as well. We're test blind, so you just put in the GPA and you can kind of get an idea of what merit scholarships you'll receive. Again, at our institution, 90% of our students receive financial aid, so that's a big part of our conversation. So definitely check out those tools there.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have gone a little earlier. That was just some great advice. I thought, to piggyback kind of on what a few of our colleagues have said, what I always recommend to students is find out what you're looking for, what's really important to you. I think that's like what Leslie said, by going to all these campuses and seeing, like, really feeling that, maybe you realize, maybe I do want a small school, maybe I do want small class size, something along those lines. So really finding what's the fit for you and not for other people, I think that's really important.
Awesome. So mine is going to be, don't forget your college and career center specialists. I know all of us have probably had virtual visits where we have just spoke to ourselves. And so I would highly recommend, as we may continue into some of these virtual visits in the fall, if you don't recognize a school's name, that's okay. Maybe they have the major, like we're in California, we have a Washington school, we have, right, Louisiana, we have all across the country here tonight. You may not have heard of one of us or all of us, but now you have. So don't forget that when you're looking at the college and career list in the fall. Go visit, challenge yourself, just like test driving. Maybe those schools can't get out, right? We are hosting visits now, but maybe you can't come to California. You can still come and meet me, and I can give you an idea. I can show you the virtual visit, and we can make those connections for you. And your college and career center specialist can help you find those scholarships that we need, those last pieces of the puzzle. So don't forget to work with them, or your educator that you love the most, your teacher or your band director, somebody like that. So don't forget to ask.
Great information from you all. Great advice for sure as well. And as we close out the evening, just want to thank you all for coming to spend time with us. When you leave this session, there'll be a quick 4-question survey you'll fill out for us. Remember that there will be other Rocky Mountain ACAC College Fairs come up in the coming weeks. And don't forget that we'll be recording the session available as well. So to the college reps and to the participants that are here, thank you all for coming and have a great evening. Thank you all for coming.